Okay, good. We're on another Facebook Live. Hi, Connie. Yeah, so I'm trying a new way of actually doing Facebook Lives. Every time I go through Facebook, it's always like some technical difficulty of some sort. Oh my God. But welcome. For those of you who have never met me before or know what I do, so I've been reversing type 2 diabetes for over 20 years. Helped thousands and thousands of cases of people who walked in full-blown diabetic, walk out non-diabetic. As a matter of fact, today we've had 3 people. Last week we had 11. The week before that we had 7. So every week in my office, I see cases where I figure out what's causing their diabetes and then putting them on a plan to actually help them get better. So if you're watching this from the Facebook group, first off, welcome. Oh, look at all these people joining me. All right, so Peggy's on. Hi, Peggy. Connie is on. Susan's on. Okay, good. Can you guys hear me okay? I think I could adjust the volume. Am I too loud? Is everything like, can you guys hear me okay? Okay, good. All right, it sounds like that everybody's good. All right, very good. So today on today's Facebook Live, I'm going to be doing these now on a consistent basis. I've been so busy. Thank you, Peggy. I've been on a consistent basis that, as you could probably imagine, our Facebook group has grown exponentially. I started a few months ago, and I just wanted like 5, 10 people in this group, and we've actually just reached over 1,300 people and members, type 2 diabetics just like you, who want advanced ways to defy the odds and to reverse their type 2 diabetes naturally. So if you're new and you're new to the group, welcome. We are glad you're in. We're excited to help you. We're excited to give you the information really that you need to improve your quality of health and to improve your diabetes. As many of you know, we just got over 2 million views on my YouTube channel of people just like you trying to reverse diabetes. I recently also became a verified Instagram account, which is kind of a big deal, I guess, in the tech space. It just means that I am who I say I am, and I'm legit, and so forth. I guess that's a good thing, right? So, and then also, I know some people have been asking me about my 2 books that I've been writing about reversing diabetes. Some of you have already got my first book. That one is not about diabetes. It's a really good book, but my next 2, I'm working on it. I just want to make sure that when I release it, I can answer all the questions and do all the things related to releasing another book, which is a lot of work, believe it or not. The book writing is actually easier than all the other stuff. So I'm still working on that. So I have a couple of announcements today. So before we end off, I have some really cool announcements that I think you'll like. But additionally to that, we're going to talk about a few things. First off, the one topic that everybody's asking is, what is reversing type 2 diabetes? What is the untold truth about this? Now, I know some of you have heard about type 2 diabetes and that it could be reversed, or maybe you saw some ad on the Facebook or Instagram or something. But I'm going to show you back to the untold truth. This is the thing that no one's really discussing about what to do about type 2 diabetes. Most of the time when you hear something about diabetes or reversing diabetes, it's all about a diet or some sort of exercise program or some sort of special supplement that's going to cure everything. Right now it's all the CBD stuff, and they're like trying to sell you this and gummies that, and it's the thing that's going to solve all your issues, right? Which we know obviously isn't true. But really, there are some real good rules that you follow it and you follow the plan, you actually get to do really well with your type 2 diabetes. The next thing we're going to talk about is, what is the magic diet, right? What diet do my patients do? What is the magic diet? Is there a special thing I should be doing with my diet, special trickery you should be doing with your diet in order to get really good results as a type 2 diabetic? The next thing is, some patients have asked me to talk more about cholesterol. Most diabetics, if not almost every diabetic, is recommended to do and take cholesterol medication. So I'm going to get into that and how my patients in my office are able to actually improve their cholesterol levels and get off of cholesterol meds. And then lastly is, people always ask about Medicare and can it help? Like, does it actually help with your goals and what you're trying to get on? Hi, Tammy. I'm glad you made it. So anyway, we have a lot to go over. And then, like I said, at the very end, I have something to share with you, especially for some of you that have been following me for a long time. I think you're going to like it. Okay. Actually, you even maybe participated in what I'm going to go over with you. So good. Now, mind you, for those of you that are hopping on, this is a new platform. So I'm not really sure how to use it. So if I wind up screwing something up, I'll come right back on. All right, so good. So I have something really cool I want to go over with everybody. And some of you have seen this on my blogs, on my website, but it talks about, well, what's different about how I go about taking care of people who are type 2 diabetic. So I want to share something with you, and it's about the approach. Okay, now I think that when I share, I can't draw on the screen. So let's just see. Can everybody see what my screen looks like? It looks like an iceberg. Can everybody see that? That's on the live. There's a little bit of a delay. Let me know if you could see my screen. It should look like an iceberg. Okay, good. All right, thank you, Connie. Okay, good. Now, can you guys see my mouse going across this screen? I don't see a way that I could draw on it. That's the thing I do like about Zoom. Zoom allows me to draw. Okay, you guys can see my mouse. All right, good. So this is going to work good. So this is the oh, I don't know what you are saying yes to. Yes, you can see the picture. Yes, you can see my mouse. Uh-oh. We've already experiencing difficulties here. Here we go. Hi, Alton. Welcome. Yes, the iceberg. Okay, good. Thanks, JT. But no one can see my mouse. All right, so I'm going to do my best I can without a mouse. All right, no mouse. Oh, I wish there was a way I could do this. Let's see. All right, I won't mess with it right now, but on Zoom, I have like a little pen that I could draw on the screen. I love using that. So when we look at this iceberg here, this is essentially what your health looks like, right? The symptoms always lie on top, right? You have your diabetes, bad sleep, blood pressure, the risk of heart attack, weight struggle, energy issues, and neuropathy. So when someone goes to their doctor, they're complaining of these symptoms, rightfully so. None of these are things you want to have. So what happens at this point is when you look at the top of the iceberg, it's a very small part of the iceberg, right? It's just the top. But it doesn't answer, well, what's really on the bottom, right? So what they tell us in our healthcare system is, hey, watch this diet, right? Eat these foods or take this supplement, right? And there's a million of them out there. But it doesn't address what the bottom of the iceberg is. And the reason why I see most people wind up failing is because they don't get down to looking and addressing the bottom of the iceberg. Like patients in my office, they're working hard to just get rid of that iceberg. They're working, they're changing, they're making lifestyle changes, they're taking supplement protocols that I put together, and they're going and getting rid of this iceberg, and thus they're actually able to do really well. We had a testimonial today. I'm not going to mention who it is for a certain reason, but they are able to get off of insulin and already have a major improvement on their blood sugar in only a short period of time, right? That was just posted on our Google page today. And this is what we see on a regular basis, and that's because they're working really hard to handle that bottom of the iceberg. So the question is, what's on the bottom of the iceberg, right? What is that? And it's a general way of thinking of it, but on the bottom of the iceberg, all of these things are here, okay? Now, you can't see my mouse, but I'm going to kind of go around in a circle. The first thing we look at is that one where it has all the letters next to it, the FFBDVC, right? And that means feed forward bidirectional vicious cycles. These are cycles that go on the body that basically cause an inflammatory reaction and response and thus lead to a person having blood sugar issues. Then we look at the adrenal glands. The adrenal glands control and handle stress. Then we look at infections. Today alone, I had 2 patients with infections. It was found in a very special test I run, and they have an infection. Now, what does an infection have to do with type 2 diabetes? Well, if someone has an infection, does it affect blood sugar levels? Yes. Does it affect your ability to lose weight? Of course. Does it affect your ability to have energy? Yeah. It kind of sounds even like the symptoms related to diabetes. So when you look at there's a potential infection, and you have to look at labs in a certain way to see this because they kind of hide in there, then there's a potential that person can get rid of that part of their iceberg, which is really exciting. Then we look at hormone issues. Then we look at something called dysbiosis, which is basically how your gut flora is, which is very vital to digestion and babies basically having your body be able to digest the right foods. Then we look at mold exposure. We look at toxins. We look at metabolic blocks, things that stop your metabolism from working correctly, autoimmune diseases, hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, which is a really important test. This is one of those tests that I do on patients that look at their saliva. Right? Like if for any of you have ever seen me on TV or any of my radio interviews, I always talk about how saliva gives me more information most of the time than blood. But how often is it that your doctor and or Medicare or somebody else is running saliva tests on you to figure out what's going on? But it's so important as a type 2 diabetic. It's like vital, right? Then we look at thyroid function, right? There are over 10 different tests you can look at thyroid. Most of the time we see that insurances may cover up to 3 if you're lucky. And if you really push them, write some really mean letters, kind of do really bad things to them, they may run a couple more, but more or less they're going to run only 3. Then we look at the inflammation related to diabetes, which is huge. And the last one I want to talk about is the one right in the center, and that is the one called liver. I have never, ever, ever seen a proper functioning liver in a type 2 diabetic. This is why patients in my office, that's one of the biggest things we focus on. This is why they do the metabolic clearing program on my website. This is why they work really hard on getting that liver working. Well, why is the liver such a big issue? Well, number one is it's kind of sitting in the center. It's kind of the quarterback of organ function. The other thing that's really important to understand is that all the medication you're taking have to hit the liver, and they keep on beating up that liver over and over and over again. And if you run the right labs and blood, you could see that this liver, I don't want to say always gets disease, but it definitely becomes very problematic. So the reason why patients do really well, and the untold truth here, is that the bottom is really what it comes down to, right? The bottom, if you work on that and you put your attention there, you're going to see significant improvements, as opposed to just going there and putting a Band-Aid on your neuropathy and a Band-Aid on your diabetes and a Band-Aid on the sleep. You got to get down to the root of it. And that's the way I've always approached things. And that's why I think patients do so well in my office, is because they're really getting to the core of what's really going on there. All right. So hopefully there's no questions generated on that, but maybe there is. Okay. So good. The next thing I want to discuss is, what is the magic diet, right? I talked about that in the beginning. So there is no magic diet, right? There's no special, eat this at this time, do this at that time, and all of a sudden your diabetes gets away. There are things you should definitely be eating, right? Definitely protein, veggies, fruits, common sense things, right? I don't think anybody agrees that donuts are healthy, right? So you want to have a healthy diet, but remember, diet is just the foundation, okay? So on my website, I have diets on there. I have free diets on there. I have recipes on there, but it's just a foundation. So that is something you work off of. So you get that diet in, and then you work off of the diet by getting your body back to balance, okay? Now, one of the things that just came up, someone was asking about, well, how do my patients get off cholesterol meds, and do they get off cholesterol meds? And they do. The way they get off cholesterol meds is exactly what I spoke about actually on this last model, right? So this is how they get off cholesterol meds. They start working on the bottom of the iceberg, and they actually start getting this bottom of the iceberg working better. Now, you'll find that I wrote a guide about cholesterol levels and understanding cholesterol and what's the right cholesterol that you need in your body, also what the right ratios are. You could find that. It's a guide. It's on my website. It's called Your Guide to Understanding Cholesterol and How to Naturally Lower It. And it's a really good guide. Most people, I shouldn't say most, but many of the diabetics that I see, and when I look at their labs, their cholesterol levels are too low. So you'll learn in this guide where you don't want to be under 150 for your cholesterol levels. Now, why is cholesterol so important? Well, it's really important. Cholesterol protects your brain. Cholesterol protects also the nerves of your body. So those diabetics that have issues related to nerve dysfunction and neuropathy, the cholesterol helps hold that together. What's another thing that's really, really important for a type 2 diabetic, right? And if you're a man on here, you'll understand this, is your sex life. The way you get male hormones is making sure your cholesterol levels start the whole process. Your cholesterol comes in, then your DHEA, then you have other hormones that start before you get to testosterone. So if you're a male and you're sitting there and you're trying to have a better manhood as you get older, and you're taking cholesterol meds, it's almost like you're shooting yourself in the foot, because you need cholesterol to make sex hormones. Okay, women, you do as well. But men always talk to me about that. Women usually don't. Okay, so anyway, you need cholesterol levels in your body. So check out that guide. It's on my website. I'll post it. Actually, let me do that now while I'm on, because I know someone's going to ask me. Good. All right, good. You'll find it there. I just put the link there. Oh, good. Okay, excellent. All right, so good. And then let's talk about Medicare. So, some patients have been asking me about Medicare and how does Medicare help. So, oop, good. Give me 1 second. I was missing some chat here. Okay, good. There we go. Looks like it's fixed. So, so people ask about, Medicare. Does it help? Does it offer, any sort of help and related to diabetes? The answer is yes, it does. Medicare has actually been more and more helpful with certain things related to diabetes, but they do not cover anything preventative. So let me explain. Medicare will cover a couple of basic lab testing. Okay, basic. I'm talking about very simple, basic lab testing. It's not very thorough. It's not the ones I would ever run on a patient. It basically tells you that you're sick. So A1C, a CBC, lipid panel, that sort of thing. They'll check vitamin D, which is good. You want to get that checked. The 25-hydroxy test, you want to do that a couple times. But by and large, they're never going to cover something preventative, right? That's even on their website. And they would actually consider reversing diabetes as preventative. So they won't actually cover something that they think is preventative, but they will absolutely cover, like let's say if you need a glucometer, which is that meter you use for your finger, they'll cover that. Let's say now, I've seen where Medicare even covers the continuous glucose monitors. They cover your medication, right? Because you need the medication there to make sure you're not going into an emergency, right? But they don't like to cover all the things needed to reverse your diabetes. I know it's a broken system, but Medicare still can help you. Medicare is still able to give you the medication so you could at least get to my office in one piece and you could get yourself better, but is not designed to actually do anything preventative. Okay, so I just want to make sure you're aware of that. All right, good. So now I want to go over a few things that people have been asking about. So first off, and by the way, I don't know if my chat is working. I got an error message as I was doing this, so I don't know if that was working or not. So if you want to say hello or put something in the chat, let me see if I can see it here. Let's see. Okay, good. All right. I don't know if my chat's working, but if it is and you guys can see it, great. The last thing I want to wrap up is I have a very special. Oh, good. Okay. Thanks, Peggy. So I have one other thing I want to go over with you. So I want to thank everybody. About a month ago in the Facebook group, I was telling everybody about, help me create a new design for Complete Life Nutrition. So everybody was voting and it was a lot of fun. So finally, we have our new logo for Complete Life Nutrition. And this is a supplement company I started many years ago. And it's very good supportive supplements for diabetics, right? We have shakes on there. There's a vitamin D that's coming out that's really good, that sort of thing. I have an Omega product that is being manufactured as we speak. Really good things for really high quality. Nothing you're going to buy in the store. This is not something you would typically buy in a store, but they're really high quality supplements. So I want to show you the new labels. All right, so here we go. Check this out. So first off, the one that is used by a lot of patients is something called Blood Sugar Balancer. So it's awesome because it has ingredients in there to help stabilize blood sugar. So is it going to reverse diabetes? No, but it's going to help support your blood sugar. So it's nice and even. And actually it helps even the body's ability to use insulin and as well as distribute sugar accordingly. So check out this new label. Let me see if I can put it up there. Is that pretty cool? Well, I think it's opposite, right? So you're seeing it the opposite way. Let me see if I can shut that off. Let's see here. All right, here we go. I'm going to show it to you now. Here we go. This may change it. All right, so see that there? There we go. Let me put it in front of my camera. So that is the new label, right? It looks pretty cool. And then check this out. So now everybody, oh my God, everybody raves about Clean Lean Shake. So many patients, we sell so many of these particular shakes for diabetics around the country. So this is a really good one. Check out this one. Okay, this is the new label. Let's see if you guys can see it. So that is the Dutch chocolate, right? Doesn't that look really cool? Let me see. How do I do this? Doesn't that look really cool? And then check out the vanilla. The vanilla one looks, oh my God. And vanilla, I go back and forth. Like vanilla, let's see if you guys can see that. Oh, the zoom is a little bit off. You guys see that there with the vanilla? Oh, there we go. That's better. So that is the new shake. and these are yummy. So you're going to see it, patients, if you're watching this, as you get your next shipment of anything you need supplement wise, protocol wise in my office, you'll probably get the new labels. We're still finishing up the previous labels, so you'll be getting the new stuff. So exciting. And then also on my website, there's a big summer sale going on. So if you are interested and you're not a patient in my office, you can go, you'll see what's on there. There's even like specials, like 2 for, like 2, you buy 2 and you get a discount. Oh, you got yours, Tammy? I know. Oh, you did. You got the new label? That's great. Yeah, it's so good. Oh my God. My kids even fight over it. Sometimes we do like a scoop of chocolate, scoop of vanilla, but they like it. And like if you get kids to like a shake, that's really, that's a challenge. So anyway, I'm going to be ending off, but I want to thank everybody for coming. We're going to be doing these on a weekly basis. So if you have questions, put those in the Facebook group. If you're not a part of our Facebook group, I encourage you to join it. A lot of information, not about managing diabetes, but reversing diabetes. Okay. And there's a different way of actually addressing that. So I want to thank everybody for coming. Have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next live. All right. Take care.